I'm gonna kind of go couple by couple for this debrief. First couple I want to get into is Zach and Kata. So Amora came in and Amora said something about how, like Zach was, really doing his big one in Casa Amor, but he wasn't as bad as KC or whatever. And Kata picked up on that, and Kata was like, not as bad as KC. The fuck is that supposed to mean? And I watched After Sun where the girls were saying that Zach was the most flirtatious. Why didn't Amora say that word for word, bar for bar? And then again, like, did the producers tell them that, like, Alana's name is like Voldemort? Like, why are we not mentioning her at all? You know what I'm saying? Why are we not mentioning the fact that the girl that he had the strongest connection with was actually forcibly removed from the villa? I feel like that needs to be mentioned. And so yeah, like Kata's kind of picking up on that, but like, I'm sorry, like Kata's gonna stick beside her, man. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know if Kata can go to my final if Zach is with her. I'm gonna be real. Like, I do feel like Zach is a narcissist. I feel like he's a little bit of a narcissist. Like, even with the whole, like, him getting mad at her because Caleb was trying to get to know her and then refusing to make her breakfast, and so she had to make her, like, I don't know, like that really put me off of him, like, permanently. I fear. Do I think he likes her? Sure, but like, I don't know if I like him for her, you know what I mean? And it's so unfortunate because, like, they are unfortunately the only other strong couple. Y'all, I'm so irritated. I'm watching tonight's episode and all I can think is, wow, like, we used to be a proper country. Like, the ancient texts that I studied, right? Like, by Casa Amor, we would have, like, 3-4, like, really strong couples. Love Island is losing recipes bad. And, like, listen, I've held my tongue for long enough. I shouldn't be hearing explore in week 4. I'm gonna be real. Like, I genuinely feel like that crazy old lady who's describing what the country was like before war. Like, I come from a time where, like, kissing in bed meant something. Where kissing bombshells and doing something with a bombshell meant something. I come from a time where, like, bombshells had to work. Bombshells had to come in and put in work to break up a couple. I come from a time where, like, there were regular dates throughout the season. And, like, when bombshells would come in, they would come in and we would be introduced to them on a date. And, like, people would get to know each other on dates. And there would be, like, multiple really strong connections in the house at a time. Yeah. And then, like, Casa Amor would be a gag because, like, you grow to love these couples and these connections. And then, like, that's like, the whole point. And, like, this show is just so far from it. Why are we now into week 4 and I'm still listening to people who've been here since day 1 talk about explore? Kenzie is on, like, her 5th connection. Kenzie is in, like, her 3rd love triangle. I come from a time where if you couldn't get in a strong connection, you would get the boot. Yeah. I come from a time where if your connection wasn't strong enough, if you couldn't lock in with somebody, you would get the fucking boot because there was no room on the island. Now there's 11,000 people on this goddamn villa. Like, y'all really fucking bad. And then the boys are waking up to Kenzie's tea. And I'm just like, I feel like y'all brushed on this already. Like, y'all were so close, right? When Kenzie was in the bottom and all you had to do was send her packing, right? Because you said it. It was said. Kenzie goes where the attention is. How did Kenzie go from telling Dylan that she really likes Dylan and she really likes their connection? And even in the confessional, she's talking about she really likes Dylan. She's so happy around him. He's exactly what she's been looking for. But I'm still gonna get to know Gaul and I'm still gonna go kiss him in the speakeasy. Like, please. Please. That's exactly why you should have sent Miss Clam Slam home. Like, I'm sorry. And, like, listen, I could give Kenzie her tools where she deserves her tools. Like, that conversation that she had with Corbin, and she was like, listen, at the end of the day, first of all, Corbin, I think he is genuinely just stupid. Because how is it still not clicking for you that it's not about you having a connection with Parmita? It's about the disrespect and the dismissal of our connection, right? That you said that you had with me based off of seeing this woman. You didn't even have a conversation with her. Like, you just saw her. So the sheer lust alone was enough for you to say Kenzie is donezo. Like, I'm actually genuinely astounded sometimes that it's not clicking. But then I remember, like, we live in America and Trump won the election. You know what I mean? So like, people sometimes just don't be thinking for real. Everybody doesn't have the same amount of brain cells. They're not all firing the way that they're supposed to, and that's okay. That's okay. We can't explain everything to everybody. And then Parmita, while Corbin and Kenzie are having their conversation, Parmita's gonna post herself up in a direct line of vision of their conversation. Why? Don't fucking know. And she's like, is it good for me to see? No. Like, am I happy that they're having this conversation? No. The whole time, like, you know that they're having the conversation just to clear the air. Like, he's not going into the conversation with her, like, on anything because y'all decided to close it off earlier in the day, which, interesting choice. Interesting choice. But, like, yeah, you know he's not over there, like, trying to get Kenzie back. So what's with all the dramatics? And then when he comes back over to her, she's like, but did you have to have that conversation right in my face, though? You're the one who went and sat down there. Like, what? Like, chat, am I bugging? Am I like, did she not, like, after Corbin and Kinsey went and sat down, did she not go over and say, I'm going to sit right here and plot her? Like, I'm tweaking out. Get her off my island. Get her off my island. Like, she be irritating me so bad. And then her and Corbin don't be talking about shit anyways. Like, please pack it up. But anyways, then we got the Sincere and Melanie tea. So Melanie is like slowly waking up. You know, she's slowly coming out of the sunken place a little bit. And I'm really, really, really hoping that she could just grab onto that freedom and get the fuck up out of there. But yeah, Amora came in and she said her piece, right? She had a conversation with Sincere. That went strangely. He basically was like, if I'm being real, I don't even know what he was saying, if I'm being honest. Sincere just be running his mouth and saying a whole lot of fucking nothing. So I did genuinely zone out of that conversation. I'm going to be honest. But like the summary of the conversation was like, Amora saying like, I feel like you treated our time in Casa Amor as like a hall pass for your relationship. And he was like, you know, like I did genuinely like explore with you and whatever, blase, but like my connection with Melanie was just better. Wrong. And this is why I don't fuck with the whole explore island shit. You people are not exploring shit. I knew from all the way at home, I knew that Sincere didn't really like Amora like that for real. Not in the same way that he liked Melanie. I know that he knew that he was going to be going back home to Melanie from day dot. You were actually not forced to kiss this girl and cuddle with this girl and give this girl hope that you actually might bring her back because you're treating her like somebody that you would bring back. See, if you were exploring respectfully, right, and like having conversations, getting to know her as a person and actually weighing, am I more compatible with this person than I am with the person that I have over at the house? Not to say you can't share a little kiss, a little 1-2 kiss maybe here or there, but like the whole kissing in the bed and the cuddling and the bumping and the grinding, like all of that is so extremely unnecessary. And then these boys will do all of that and then just toss the girls to the wayside. Like they were literally just a toy. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. But then he goes and talks to Melanie. He's telling Melanie like, oh, I want to be your safe space. And she's like, you cannot be my safe space. Like you keep making me feel like this. And like at the end of the day, like you're draining me. Like you're draining my life force. I'm like, yes, Melanie. Yes. You're getting it. You keep going. And she tells him again, like, yeah, like I agree with Amora. Like I feel like you went over there and you treated this shit like it was a hall pass. And you were just like, yeah, I'm going to do whatever I want. And Melanie's going to be sitting there waiting for me. Like you're making me look like a dumb bitch. And he was like, yeah, well, at the end of the day, I chose you. And she was like, well, the prize is not to be chosen. Exactly. She said the prize is not being picked. If you don't respect me, the prize is being respected. Exactly, Melanie. Exactly. She's waking up, guys. She's waking up. Oh my God. And movie night is gonna seal the deal. I just know it. Now, do I think that she's gonna get up off of Sincere? No. I think she I do unfortunately think that she will be right beside him all the way up until the end of the season. But, you know, like I like that she's having these moments of clarity, I guess. Anyways, moving on. Shout out to Bryce and Trinity for giving me exactly what I watched this show for. Like, they finally went on a date. The first date being on episode 24. Losing recipes. But he asked her to be his girlfriend. And I was just cheesing the whole time. Like, I was like, this is what I watch Love Island for. Like, fuck all that explore shit. That was really cute. And then, I'm sorry, him jumping into the ocean and Trinity being in that big ass fucking floaty. Super cute, super cute. Love that for them. Matter of fact, just cut them the check. Yeah, just cut them the check. Then we have the Gaul and Jen situation. All I have to say is, Gaul, get off my island. Gaul's talking to Jen, talking about, oh, I feel like you're trying to turn me into somebody that I'm not. And I feel like the girls look at me like I'm Jen's guy. And Jen is like, what do you want me to do about that? Like, I'm confused. I don't know. He calling Jen aggressive because Jen said what he's saying don't make no sense. Like, no, babe, what you saying don't make no fucking sense. Like, if you want to get to know the other girls, get to know the other girls. But don't blame the fact that they don't want to get to know you on the fact that they look at you as Jen's guy. Nobody thinks you're attractive. I'm sorry. Have we ever stopped to think that maybe the girls just aren't feeling you like that? Ever? Yeah, very weird conversation. Anyways, last but not least, KC weird ass. First of all the weird comments that he had to say in regards to Carl being back in the villa, please piss off. But he pulls Anaya to have a chat. He pulls her and yet somehow forces her to start talking first. Whatever. But they have a chat and Anaya is basically like, yeah, like you massively disrespected me. At the end of the day, it's not about you having a connection. It's about the disrespect and how you treated me when you came back. And I've never felt this disrespected in my life. And then she calls him a coward and he's like, listen, like, I don't like that word. I don't like that word. Well, you're not going to like the words I have for you. Okay, you better be happy that she's only calling you a coward, bitch, because I got a lot of choice words for you, Mr. KC. But I'm glad she called it out, and I'm glad that she also called out the fact that he stood there and made TT do all the talking for him, and the fact that she's basically here having to pull an apology out of him. I really can't stand his ass. And, like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm glad that she was like, listen, I appreciate your apology, but, like, you're genuinely, like, a nasty-spirited person, and I don't need to be surrounding myself with people like you, period. And this bitch gonna ask for a hug after. Like, I'm glad she said fuck no and walked away. Like, that's enough. Close that chapter. We're done. So let's get to movie night so we can start getting some people out my house. Thank ya.